Hello again. Well, I've got the guts of the gears all assembled up. I've got the synchro forks, the gear change forks all done, and the reverse is here, that slides on there. I've cleaned my surface, and here, and I'm just about to put this in. This is not a tricky piece when you do, this gearbox. It's getting that one on is slightly tricky, especially if you're doing it in the car, so you don't have to take all this off. That's tricky. And what I do is I always take out of this casing this selector gear oil seal. I always replace the oil seals, but I don't put it back until I've got the casing back on, and that way it's slightly easier. I'll just put some of this on. And then I'll get the first assembly up. There's quite a few different variations on this transaxle unit. In theory, they should all interfit, but they don't. And you just can't change the half shaft flanges to fit different drive shafts. And I'm ready to stick this thing in. Let's make sure I don't get it upside down, inside out, the wrong way. I've got the casing nicely chocked up at an angle, and these are the three rods here. They go in here. Quite heavy. There we go. So that's all in line. So that was quite easy. Now what I've got to do, gotta get this. That's not in line. Because what you don't want to do is you don't want to put it all up and then find you can't select all the gears because you didn't get all this stuff in line properly in the beginning, like I've done here. So that's slipped. And it's catching on that stud, so I've got to move it out, or it's just tap it out of it. Now I can put it back in. Still in line. That's lovely. Now, the next piece of casing I've got to put in is this. So I've cleaned it all out, cleaned the surface, I've cleaned that surface, but when I put this in, that's got to sit in the right position for the reverse gear. Otherwise, you don't get a reverse gear, which is not very nice. To get out the car and push it in reverse. So that's the position. If you come round here, that's the position that it's got to be in. And I've got to push the casing on without disturbing this. Because if I knock this into gear, I won't be able to select just one gear. It'll always be selecting two gears, which is not very good. So, what I'll do, this is very good anaerobic gasket maker because it takes a long time to dry, and it's the same stuff, same type of stuff that was used at the factory all those years ago. And this gearbox dates from about 1975, 76, somewhere around that time. And now's the year 2022. That's a long time. 48 years. So now I've got to be very careful when I put this in. Screwdriver here, just to hold this up, just like that. So when I'm got this shaft all lined up, I can just hold it up and it'll pop in line. So on the other side of this, I've taken those three screws out and replaced the oil seal there. This is where the selector shaft comes through, and I'm going to be putting the oil seal in after I'm happy with the assembly. If you come round here, Charlie, and you see that's not in line. So now all I do is I get that in line. So now that's in line. Now what I've got to worry about is that come round the other side. And now what I've got to worry about is this assembly here doesn't move out of place. So I've got this I can put on, and I'm in neutral. So now very gingerly and very gently I'm going to try and get this on. I'm still in here. Yes. And it's worse when you're in a car, when it's hanging down from the front suspension. It's a real pain in the arse. But hang on, where's the red hammer gone? There it is. So just give this a little. Tap. That's the reason why they're just there. And it's jumped out of here. Let's jump. Sticking in this. Yeah. I can see what's going on. That might be better. Ah, see what's the matter here. My synchro ring is twisted. That's the problem. That was the problem. Synchro ring was, and that's out. There. And there. Right, start again. It's all in line. Let's hope I can get it in this go. It's all in line. That's in line. That's in line. That's in line. Now, it's starting to go in, but I just want to check that. Yes, it slipped into reverse again. And that's always a problem when you assemble these up in the car. Now it's pushing it out. And this shaft is catching on this part here, which is pain. That's in line. That's still knocking it into reverse. No, it's knocking it out. And now when I push it in, it goes in again. So I'm going to have to sort out this shaft in here. Speak to you later on.